have a simple formula for success for your business. Hey, my name is Michael Thibault, recovering restaurant owner, author, coach, owner of Done For You Marketing Systems. Thank you so much for stopping by for this week's edition of Mike's Money Making Minutes. And I have a simple formula for success for your business. You can apply this to if you have a restaurant, a new menu item, a new retail item, or you want to start a new division to your business. It's super simple. And ask yourself this question, right? Am I selling something my customers really want and are willing to pay for? Sounds simplistic, but a lot of business owners don't do that. A lot of business owners will try to sell their customers what they think they want without asking their customers what they want and what they're willing to pay for. Again, it sounds like a simple formula, but some business owners just ignore it. So take a look at this. This is a photograph that I took last week of this local business here where my office is located on Main Street. And it's a smaller town, and it's very, very cool. It's big enough to have, 10, 12 independent restaurants, but not too big where we have a bunch of corporates. And I love that because I love independent businesses. So this was a corporate franchise that went in, and I talked to the gentleman who opened up about a year ago, and it's one of those corporate franchises. It's like a bakery, and they specialize in French macaroons. You might have seen one, out. There's a lot has to do with location. They do very well in tourist towns. But I went in and I talked to him, and, I thought his hours were a little screwy because it was open up during the day, and there's a lot of restaurants here, so there's a lot of people walking around after they have dinner looking for dessert or maybe a cup of coffee. There's 2 independent coffee shops that do really, really well. So I thought if he wasn't selling coffee and he wasn't staying open like past 7, and you need to stay open until at least 9, 10 o'clock because that's when the people were getting done with their dinner and walking around because it's such a beautiful main street, looking for some dessert or having an after dinner coffee. He was closed, right? And I was talking to him, and I was like, why are you open at 11 o'clock? Are there a lot of people walking around for lunch in this area? And this area is very health conscious, looking for macaroons. And he's like, well, I don't want to be here late and my staff. And yeah, I get that. But what do your customers want? And what are they willing to pay for? So I went back. He, had a couple of staff, went back a couple of weeks later and started talking to him again. And he was struggling and found out, he put every dime he had into redoing this building, making this business a go. And he really wasn't getting a lot of support, from the corporate franchise company. So he wasn't doing much marketing at all. They didn't give him a lot of, training other than how to make the macaroons, not how to sell them. So I said, hey, why don't you put some sandwiches in here? If you're going to be open during the day and you want to make a go of it. And he's like, I don't want to add the equipment and the expense, and I really don't have the staff. So he had like all these excuses, right, on why he couldn't do what his customers probably wanted from him, but he wasn't willing, to change or to make accommodations or think outside the box, because sometimes that's what you got to do. I talk to a lot of restaurant owners that want to increase sales, for their lunch business, right, because we all want to, make money during lunch when you have a restaurant. And I ask them, well, what's the demographic around your, 5-mile radius of your restaurant? Do you have a lot of companies? Is there a lot of people, that are working during the day that go out for lunch? Because things have changed, right? Our society's changed. Ever since COVID, a lot of people are working from home and they don't go into an office. And if you were busy before for lunch, now after COVID, you're not because people just aren't around. You got to come up with something else, delivery, catering. I had this one restaurant client, and he was really thinking outside the box. This was awesome. He started a food truck just for lunch, and he found out where a lot of people were working from home, post-COVID. So he would take his food truck and park it twice a week in the cul-de-sac, and people would come out and buy lunch from him that were working from home. That's giving your customers what you want, where they want, when they want it, because that's the mentality of your customers nowadays. You have to sell them what they want, when they want, and you have to give it to them pretty much immediately and when they want it. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's the formula for success. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, how do I know what my customers want? I want to try this new event. I want to add this new menu item. We want to bring in this new type of entertainment. How do I know what my customers want? Survey them. Ask them a question. Like I said, you can look on your review sites, but if you want to know something specific, I do this all the time. I send out my list in email and ask them, would you like me to do this? Do you think this is valuable? Would this help you? Ask them. They will tell you. So, simple, secret formula for success. Give your customers exactly what they want, when they want it, how they want it, and your marketing will be so much easier, and your life will be so much easier, and your business will be so much easier. So find out what your customers want and sell it to them. The simple formula for success. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel or got on our list, our Done For You family list, you can head over to doneforyoumarketingsystems.com and fill out a form on the blog page and get a bunch of free stuff that's going to help you market and have a better business, have a better life. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching this week, and I'll see you next week.